to Bloody Good Horror.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing Save Yourselves. There's actually an exclamation point on there, so I guess it's more like Save Yourselves. Right, Joe? I am your host for this evening. Joining me tonight, first off from Chicago, Illinois. He drinks and he does cameo. Please welcome Joe. He is mute. Oh. Just try that again. Now you're not muted. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. We're doing the.
I hear him.
You heard? Good show. Best show of the year. We're currently like 5 days deep in dry January, and I just figured out pie, like the thing. I solved it. I solved pie.
When was the last time you did a show not drinking, Joe? That's a good question, isn't it?
I haven't drank like during the show in a while. Like I do every once in a while, but it's not like a consistent thing like it used to be. Like remember like years ago when I had like a bucket next to me with ice so I could have like 5 or 6 beers.
What
like,
is it that you're normally drinking during the show then? Because you always look like you're drinking to me.
It's just water usually. I mean, every once in a while I'll have like a gin and tonic or something, but like I haven't like downed. I mean, on like the end of the year show, I think I was drinking a good amount, but like it's been a while since I was just like pounding beers on a show.
Huh. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next up on the show, looking real puddle of mud like tonight. He's the business manager at bloodygoodhorror.com. Please welcome John Schnars to the show.
Hello, Eric.
I gotta say, you stood up earlier and took your headphones off and just let that hair flow. It is beautiful. Like all jokes aside, John. It's.
I don't dislike it. At this point, I've moved into a place where I'm kind of like, yeah, I could keep this.
What do your work people say? Like, don't you have like younger subordinates? Like, what do they say?
Nothing. I mean, I work with like creative types. Like they embrace the whole you at all times. I feel like so.
I have a creative job, but I don't feel like I'm not getting that, John. Maybe I'm gonna hit you up. See if we can make I need acceptance in my life, John. Last up tonight on the show from Indiana, looking like Jerry Garcia. Please welcome Casey to the show.
Hello.
Do you disagree with me, Casey?
No.
You are intentionally seem to be cultivating a look here.
No, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind the Garcia comparisons. I think my hair would look as long as John's, though, if my head wasn't so wide, because it's got more room to go around.
Right, before it can cascade down the sides. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not Garcia right now, though, right? Like,
well, no, he's dead, right?
Like 15 years in the ground.
Right. Makes sense.
Has he been gone that long?
He died. I was a senior in high school, so it's been more
than that.
20 plus.
Who could say, John? Who could say who's dead or alive at this point?
That's fair. That's fair.
Speaking of, Joe, please tell us what we are drinking tonight.
Beer guts.
Save yourself. A delightful little movie about a Brooklyn, I believe Greenpoint. They say at one point, if I remember correctly. I think that was arguably like one of the epicenters of Brooklyn hipsterism. That takes a trip to upstate New York, the Pine Bush region.
I know, John. Is there a pine? What is the pine? Isn't it like in Jersey or something?
No, it's just I want to say west of like Poughkeepsie, Kingston, around that area.
Okay,
it's like
yeah, I wasn't.
I'm so glad you either remembered or looked up where, because I was super curious.
So if it's near Kingston, that's like what the city people think upstate is. That's like mid-state kind of.
Yeah, like that's what people from where Eric and I don't think is upstate,
right.
And that's where, like so people.
I'm always excited when we can get deep into New York State regional politics here, Joe.
Yeah, pretty much. You drive an hour north, and those people think that the people in our south are not actually upstate. So like Kingston and like that area is just like barely upstate. That's what like people from Yonkers think is upstate, but we
Right.
don't in
Exactly.
Saratoga. And people in
this is-
Buffalo just think
You
we're
know what
all
my
idiots.
biggest pet peeve is, Joe, when people refer to like Buffalo or Rochester as upstate New York, and I'm like, no, dude, that's
Buffalo's
western.
like fucking 6
It's
hours west. It's, like,
Western New
basically
York, bro.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
Canada, northern Pennsylvania. I mean,
All right, New York City guy. We don't.
anyway.
This is about me and Joe, not you, John.
Yeah. Go shuck your lobsters or whatever the hell you're doing. But anyway, this fun couple taking a trip upstate. They start out in Brooklyn, and because of that, I obviously picked a beer from Brooklyn Brewery. And I picked a beer, the Bel Air Sour, is the beer I picked from them, which, as you might have guessed, John, is a sour ale. Bright, fruity notes, they describe it as, with tropical fruit, yet finishes with a gentle tartness.
Oh.
Which I feel like, and we'll get into this, but I don't know if the term hipster is actually a thing anymore, right? Like I feel like we've kind of gotten past that. Like it's just, it's a thing now.
We debated this over email today.
Yeah. But this stuff, well, I fall in the camp that like it's probably not a thing anymore. But this beer, like sours in general, I feel like once IPAs kind of became like a big thing, like people started to veer away from those, and like sours still have like that niche sort of like.
Well, it's like anything else. Once the characteristics of your group become absorbed into wider society, then it kind of ceases to be a thing, right? Like it's like grunge.
Yeah.
But I feel like sours still kind of have that aura about them, and like I enjoy them. I think they're delicious. I'm not gonna sit down and drink like a whole 6-pack of them, but like, in the summer or even this time of year, depending on what kind you get, like they're not too shabby. This one only comes in at about 5.8% alcohol, so not super high. Not that you can sit down and pound sours because obviously they're like fairly. It's like drinking a pack of sweet tarts or something. But like,
Joe, you get me a funnel, I will take down the sour.
can you imagine? Like,
It's so gross.
Not to get completely off topic, but like my 27th birthday, I remember my wife got me like kegs, and like it was a big surprise party, and like I had talked about funnels for a long time, and she's like, "Oh, I'll get you a couple of those," and I hadn't done one in probably 15 years. I took down a Sam Adams like Boston Lager, and I'm like, "Oh no, you're not supposed to do that!" Like, it was like being punched in the stomach.
Didn't we have them at Eric's bachelor party?
We
I
did,
swear
yeah.
we
You
did.
almost died.
What,
yeah.
Boston Loggers?
No, the
Funnel? Yeah, I brought.
Oh,
I brought
there
mine
was
up.
yes, there was a funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
was, I
led
think,
to the
the
infamous
first time
line
we
of my
really saw
my
it.
father walking over to me and poking me and looking at you and being like, "I think we broke your podcaster."
Yeah.
Well, the funnel did it. I mean, to be fair.
I think that was the first time we really saw drunk schnars.
Yes,
like, that
100%.
was.
Yeah.
Went to a dark place.
Those were
for
good
sure.
times. I tell this story constantly, but like I felt like shit the next day, and it was like a 3-hour drive, if not more. And like we get in the car, and John immediately goes to sleep. Like before we even get on the highway, I'm like, "All right, awesome. So I'm doing this solo. Is that how this is going?"
What happens? You
That's
drunk,
what
drunk
Andy
sleep on
did
the
to me.
ground. Yeah.
That's what Andy did to me at the 10-year coming back from Milwaukee. He took a ride, got in the car. We got 5 minutes out of the city, and he was out.
So it's a power move.
Yeah, and his girlfriend, who we had just met like that day, is in the back seat going, "Hi."
Anyway, brooklynbrewery.com. They distribute everywhere, so you should be able to find this one. They just started doing it year round, or like maybe in the last year or so. And yeah, it's a tasty one. If you enjoy a sour or just like something different, I recommend you pick it up.
Love it.
Thanks.
Thank you for that, Joe. That's the beer recommendation. Get that every week here on the show. Also, I should mention we're about to get into the review here, but stick around because Cece's going to drop by and give us.
Ooh.
She's going to tell us about what having a kid's like. None of us know, so we're going to find out. I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited. She'll be around after the review. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's take a quick break so that we can discuss this movie, whose name I forgot. Save Yourselves.
Yourselves!
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. From the prime time. Main feature.
And we're back. John Schnars,
Eric,
How was your holiday?
Yeah, it was okay. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
I think that's an appropriate answer, given everything.
I'll tell you, I got some new sweatpants.
Bro, so did
Mm.
I got some new Schnarr slacks.
Yeah, pretty nice.
They're awesome. I spent like
Pretty nice.
I had some old Navy cash, John. I spent like $30 on sweatpants, which I have probably never done in my life.
I mean, these were like my wife bought them. They're the one I've never. The one brand is it's called like Outside Voices or Outdoor Voices.
Hmm.
It's like one of these like internet only. Like they don't have stores. I don't think. I don't even know what the hell they're made out of. It's like alien fabric, you know. But holy shit, you know, it's a whole new level.
Yeah. This has been sweatpants talk with John Stars.
I should have put them on before the show. Would have been a little treat for myself.
Well, what are you wearing down there, John? Let's get into this.
I got slacks on, man. I had work today. It's a work day.
Slacks with really? Let me see.
Yeah, I
Do a
got-
spin, stand up, do a little spin for me, John.
Why?
I can't really see. I can't.
Yeah,
When
I-
you say you have work today, like, where do you stand up on camera? Like, is anyone seeing from the waist down?
You know, I've kind of gotten to a place where I feel like I can't just show up doing whatever.
You know, I
feel
have
I
like I kind of come and go. Like I have days where I feel the way you feel, where I'm like, you know what, man, I gotta pretend like I'm a human being here. So I get up and get dressed, and then I'll go weeks without, with just wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like,
I was walking the dogs at around 4:30 today, and I realized I have not showered.
Oh wait. Oh, you mean 4:30 p.m.?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you meant in the morning. I was like, that's
No, no, I had like, because I cover like East Coast, West Coast, like all time zones. So this morning I was like working at 7:30, and then I realized I'm like, oh, I just never showered, and here we are.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, I shower every day. I don't always put on. It's not like I'm like this is what I wore today. It's like a fucking waffle knit shirt. It's not like super nice, but
Mm.
what are you gonna do? So yeah, Eric, that's how it was, man. I was in this goddamn house for fucking 2 weeks. So
cool. Thanks for the pick me up, Schnars. Please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word is poof.
Oh,
It's POUFFE. Went on a little bit of a, not so deep of a hole here, but poof. So first of all, the spelling, I was a little surprised, but the POUFFE, the definition here, a cushioned footstool or low seat with no back. So pretty specific. There is another variant, POUF, which is a dress or part of a dress in which a large mass of material has been gathered so that it stands away from the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty specific. But that actually gets, so the origin here, the origin of poof comes to us from the French, probably no surprise, late 18th century. POUF, poof, a woman's elaborate headdress of late 18th century France.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, poof.
Cool. And what does that have to do with this movie, John?
Well, this is I would put horror in quotes potentially. It is a sci-fi comedy film where the antagonist is some poofs, some extraterrestrial poofs.
Yes, they look just like Casey's background. They look like triples.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they refer to they call them poofs in the movie, and I thought that was just like they were talking like they were like poofy things, but I think like they actually were saying like they're like the footstool, which is a poof.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, she explains that at one point. I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, they have a
that
funny
was the word of
conversation
the day,
about
Eric,
what that is.
why
yeah.
I went and
Got
looked it up. But yeah.
I believe you. All right, John. What's this movie about? Tell us about it.
Yes, Save Yourselves. This comes to us from, I think, first time, I'm pretty sure, or if not first time, very, very sort of new writer-director pair, Alex Fisher and Eleanor Wilson. It stars, it's effectively a movie with two characters. You have Sunita Mani, who plays Sue, and then her boyfriend, his name's Jack in the film. He's played by John Paul Reynolds. If you recognize the only one, I only really recognize the woman here. She was in Glow. She's like the Indian American wrestler in Glow. She's been in a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Did you guys know the guy?
yeah. Well, we watched. We talked about it over email. that show, Casey, which you mentioned that I don't remember the name of, Search Party.
Yes.
Okay.
He was like one of the main characters on that, which has like I was surprised I couldn't find any sort of tie as far as like writing and directing, but like the same exact tone and everything of this movie.
Well, and was she in Search Party too?
She was she? I don't remember if she did. I don't think she had like a very big part.
She wasn't one of the main actors, but she is in that. Shit's in her IMDb, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. The apparently the guy is also he's not like a big character, but he's in Stranger Things. He plays one of the cops. So,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, essentially Joe kind of set this up, but they're a couple, they live in Brooklyn. They're sort of, so she's 30, he's 34, which comes up in the movie. They're living kind of this like standard cohabitation, boyfriend, girlfriend life where it's a little bit of like Arrested Development. Like they're living like, it's not, it's like a good life. Like they objectively have like what they need, but they're not feeling super fulfilled, or at least she's not feeling super fulfilled. They meet at a party Ben Sinclair from High Maintenance, who I was like really hoping was going to come back into this like later, but he ends up not. And he offers to let them stay at a house that he has upstate in Pine Bush. It's like his uncle's or something he's been rehabbing, and they're immediately like, just it's so amazing. He like knows how to rehab a house and yada yada. But so they decide they're gonna not just go to this house, but they're gonna do a digital cleanse. They shut their phones off. It's like sort of very traumatic for them. They like leave voicemails telling people, or leave an answering machine message effectively that says like, "Yeah, we'll call you when this is over." And then they go up there. The problem is, as they're driving up, these poof aliens invade and effectively like destroy civilization. And so it's really like the rest of the movie. The movie is, I mean, it's really a comedy, but it's about them sort of, going through the motions around their relationship and some of the stresses there, but then coming to the realization that the world is, potentially ending because of poofs.
Thanks for that, John.
Yeah, did that track for you? That worked?
Oh yeah, I definitely heard all that. Casey, why don't you tell me what you thought about this movie?
So I'm not going to come in very high on this movie, and like we were talking over email, and that's kind of where the hipster discussion comes up, because for me these are pretty much the definition of hipsters, which is just not my thing. And I don't, which is to say, I had a hard time getting into the characters and the humor of the movie. It just didn't register with me, and I think maybe it's just not something that's not my sense of humor, and it missed out on me. It was kind of the same for my wife, but it makes sense. We're kind of into the same things. It's not to say that it was poorly made or anything like that. I just don't like the way that the writing was handled. I don't think with the atmosphere of the character and the way they present the characters and everything, and then with the humor they're doing with that is kind of centric to their kind of lifestyle, as then kind of going easy on the aliens and stuff, felt like I wasn't getting a payoff at the end maybe, and it was just hard for me I sat through the end of it, and both times I watched it a second time today and get to the end, and it just kind of left me with, is that it? And kind of scratching my head. So it wasn't a movie for me, but that's not necessarily to say that it would be a bad movie for anybody else, as these guys are going to tell you.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the emails, I might be the highest on this. Like, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I think it probably would have made my top 10 list if we had watched it last year. I totally get, and we kind of discussed it a lot over email. Like, I 100% get Casey's point, right? Like, I think this movie probably won't hit with as hard as like people like, and not to generalize, but like, John, I'm sure you work with people like this, right? Like, I have, like, when we were watching this, there's a buddy of mine back in New York, like, could be this main character. Like, he's, pretty much a twin of this guy. And, like, I think that kind of nails it a little more, to the point where, like, I didn't find them annoying. I actually, found the whole thing kind of charming, especially her. Like, I really enjoyed her character.
Yeah, she's really funny.
I think when you kind of peel away some of the layers, is like very flawed. When you look at him, like, there's this whole running theme, and he even says it a couple times about like how he didn't want to be his dad, right? Like, and he, And I think there's this whole generalization around, you know, like they talk a lot about their microgreens. He's like cultivating his sourdough starter.
Dude, the
which,
joke about how they didn't bring any non-perishable food was hilarious. They're like, we have some
Exactly,
leftover couscous and some microgreens.
they're like stereotypical, like, you know, farm to table, whatever you want to call it. You know, he brings his sourdough starter with him.
Because it has to be fed.
But then, like, it comes, by the way, you can leave your sourdough starter in the fridge for like a couple weeks, even like 3 or 4
Honestly,
weeks at a time.
you know, the inclusion of the sourdough starter just made me think about you.
Oh, as soon as, like, he grabbed that, and like Leslie and I were watching, like, this hits a little too close to home. But like, it's funny because I think it says a lot about this whole, like, I don't know what the right term is, and I don't want this to come off as like not offensive, but like there's this big push of like, you don't need to be a quote unquote man from like 30 years ago, right? Like, you don't need to be your father, like working on your car and like, you know, putting down drywall or anything. But it gets so far away from that. You get to a point, and like, it kind of shows the first night when he's trying to build a fire, and then he's just like, something's wrong with this wood, right? So it's like, you've worked so hard to like distance yourself, but then when like shit goes down, and like, all right, maybe you do need some like life-saving skills, like, all right, maybe you've gone too far, and now it would be bad to like maybe have a Pop-Tart in the house.
It's even deeper than that though, too, which I appreciated, which like before the shit goes down, he gets into that whole rant, and his biggest problem at that point is like, so he, you know, he's like, I'm fine with that, but also like, I'm not good at the new stuff. Like, that line fucking killed me. It's just like, I'm not good at this. Like, in other words, he didn't want to, like, he wanted to be this kind of like progressive 21st century male or whatever, but he's not even good at like the modern shit either. And so he's just feeling like totally lost, which I thought was
even that, but like the deeper you get with it, like, he goes on these like preachy rants about like disconnecting and like, you know, relaxing and distancing themselves from the city. But meanwhile, like, anytime his girlfriend tries to do it, like, he pretty much gaslights her, right? Like, I'm using that right.
Maybe. But she has her own thing too, right? Because like, she can't relax either. Like, every idea she has to relax is a thing that she wrote down from a BuzzFeed list in her notebook. Like, there's that whole thread of it too. Like, she can't really. He's more annoying, but she can't really do it either.
Exactly. But I feel like every time she points out that like he's doing the exact same thing, he kind of flips out on her and then like says, why are you arguing with me? Like, why are you fighting with me? And then just like shuts the whole thing down. Like,
their communication isn't great, Joe.
No, it's awful. Yeah. So, but sorry, long story short, I really enjoyed this. Like, I would go as far to say as I kind of loved it.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed this movie. I think I am probably in between Casey and Joe and John as far as experience with people quite like this. Like, I mean, I live on the East Coast. Like, I've certainly lived with, I've met some version of this person, but I don't know that I've had as much contact as John and Joe have, having spent considerable time in New York City. But I never worked in this city,
we
though,
only
John.
got hipsters in Indiana like 2 years ago.
Right. But John, like, I worked in like a corporate park in the bougie suburbs. Like, I wasn't even in the city like you guys were, you know. But it's really funny. I did kind of ride this line where there were moments, especially in the beginning, where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take these characters for an entire movie, because they're really annoying in the very beginning, intentionally so, right? Like, well, maybe intentionally so. I don't actually know. I guess that depends on your perspective on it. But I feel like the moment that won me over is when it's about 10, 15 minutes in, and they're sitting on the couch, just both on their phones, and she's staring at him and just being so annoyed that they're on their phones, and she just reaches over and fucking slaps his phone out of his hand. And it's just like a silent look between the two of them, and then like a hard cut. That whole scene was brilliant. And then in the next scene, they're planning this like getaway or whatever.
Well, I love when they're the like sex scene, or not a sex scene, but like they're like getting intimate, and then I can't even remember what happens that causes them, one of their phones buzzes, and then they both like stop, sit back, and then just start looking at their phones.
Right.
That
I don't. The phone thing really bugs me. Like, I don't. Yeah. So like in real life.
So rough.
But the two of them are so funny. I think she hits more for me than he does, only because her character is more endearing. But he also has these moments where he's crazy funny, like these night terror things he's having, where
Oh
he
my
shouts at the
God.
corner of the room. We're like
They
unreal
do it
funny.
like 3 or 4 times, and it's just as funny the third time as it was the first
Dude,
time.
so funny.
I
And
did enjoy that one.
And I
Well, the time he
really
wakes up and the alien is on the roof.
yeah.
That was really good.
Poof in the ceiling.
Yeah.
But like I absolutely love the choice to just make the aliens as silly as possible, because the movie isn't about the aliens. It's all about this stuff with with this type of modern person and what it looks like when they try to adapt, and like so and it's not, I don't think it's designed to be scary, although they do in a comedy way. The aliens can be scary, right? Because they kill people, and it's like there are moments where there's like some tension around like what they're going to do, and they move really creepily. Like the way they move is kind of reminiscent of some of the effects from like The Thing or something like that, just with CGI. But I think it's really good. It's really funny. My only beef, I guess, is the pacing and by the time you get to the finale, you're like, is this the finale? Like, it doesn't really build up to a finale the way you might want it to. But I was pretty happy with the ending. Like, it's funny. It's a good, like, kind of nihilistic ending. Although I'm not gonna lie, I had to kind of Google to see how other people had interpreted the ending. But
Oh, I'm interested because I wasn't sure how to interpret it either.
yeah, well, yeah, if I'm to believe what I read on the internet, I like the ending. I think
I
it is.
I feel like you could go either way on it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to
Okay.
it. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was super funny. But I do get the potential annoyance with the characters.
For sure, yeah.
but no, I mean, and I think we've all kind of said it. I do think it really comes down to if you can tolerate or enjoy or go beyond tolerate and enjoy these characters. Like, it's super well done. I texted you all right after I finished watching it because I was a little nervous that there wasn't enough going on. Like, there's a little bit of gore. Like, there's like a couple of deaths, but they're very minor. And I was just like, oh boy, like you guys are gonna watch this and be like, what the fuck? This isn't a movie for the show. So I was actually really glad that everybody that people came around to kind of, that it worked. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. This probably would have been in my top 10 as well. But
Oh, is this not a 2021?
no,
No.
Son
it
of a
just came out at the end of
bitch.
last year.
Does you know by chance, did anyone have this on their list?
I don't think so.
It definitely would have been on mine.
Look, this is just a reminder to the studios out there that if they want it to be on our top 10, they got to send it to us early. It's just how
Yeah.
that
That's true.
works.
To get
What,
make sure
John,
that it's
let
up
me
for
ask,
consideration.
was it on people's list and you removed it based on how you wanted the final top 10 to be, or?
Yeah, it was part of my program.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
called me and said he just wanted to find a couple other movies, so I took him from that one.
Just to touch on the like sort of progression of the plot. Like, for me, it's definitely not as like cleanly defined as like a 3-act structure as like
Yeah.
other movies we watch.
Yeah.
That said, I actually felt like the transition into the third act was kind of the cleanest, and it actually is like the most, sort of prototypical structural. Like, you have this moment where they leave, and there's this whole like, who can drive the stick shift. It kind of brings back some of the manhood issues. It also really puts a finer point, like that third act really puts a finer point around some of her issues, which they don't highlight as being so much about motherhood, but like there's a couple of conversations
Yeah.
about kids.
Can you
know?
guys
Yeah.
drive a stick shift?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
cannot.
learned to drive on one.
Yeah, me too.
It's ancient technology, John. Why would I need to know how to do that?
Ah,
Do they
I
even-
would love to have a stick
Do
shift.
they even-
Yeah,
do they even
I
make-
tell Leslie, like, now that we're out in the burbs, like, I hated it when I was in New York because, like, sitting in traffic, it's a goddamn nightmare.
Do
but,
they
like,
even
out
make
here,
cars like that
it's-
anymore?
Yeah.
Do you have like special order one or some shit? If it's not like a fancy like sports
No,
car. Or something?
like, when they were more prevalent, they were a cheaper option.
Well, no, I
than
understand that,
yeah,
but
an
if you go to buy a
automatic.
car now and nobody's asking you like you want the manual, like no, bro, it's fucking 2021. I don't
Oh,
want the
you
manual.
might need to. You might.
Yeah,
need
you
to
may
go
have to ask for 'em
That's
now,
what I'm.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But
Well,
Joe's
to
right.
your point,
Joe's
like,
right.
the
It used to
super-
be. It used to be. I mean, I remember it was more expensive to get the automatic.
Automatic, yeah.
Yeah, I assume Joe would be buying a Jaguar if he was getting a stick shift. Yeah, but but in any event, that like I also like that the third act. It's where look, you don't even see the aliens until probably like the beginning of the second act. It's probably that first turn is when you actually like see the alien for the first
Yeah.
time, and
Well,
then
there was a certain point where I thought, like, you're never going to see them because they
Yeah.
they definitely they make it a point that, and sorry, I don't mean to completely
No,
cut
no,
you
it's
off,
fine.
John, but like they make a point that like they're attacking New York City, right? So at a certain point, you start to think like, oh, well, they're gonna ride this whole thing out upstate, and like we're never actually gonna see these aliens, which I at a certain point would have been fine with.
But I love that, it wasn't, there was a universe where they could have just said, like, fuck it, like, these are just goofy aliens, like, we're not going to worry about, like, they give them, there's like a lot going on. Like,
They're
they
fairly
introduce,
well done, yeah.
yeah, there's like, they introduce this concept that they want to drink ethanol, right? So that they're like, they're like drilling into bottles in the kitchen, they're drilling into the car, the
They drink
gas
his
tank.
starter. They drink his
They do-
sourdough
they
starter,
drink the
which
sourdough starter.
very
Um,
upsetting.
but when you see them use their little tentacle-y thing, I don't know. I thought it was like that was like I was just like, oh, all right, pretty
Yeah.
nice. Like
It's like a lizard or something,
It's
right?
pretty
Like a
gross
lizard
and
tongue.
like unsettling the way it moves. Like I love the first time they confront it. First of all, they have that whole conversation about the poof thing where she's explaining to him what a poof is or whatever, and they try to poke it and it like it like skitters back and it's real weird. Like it's real
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And then it shoots this little thing and like flies out the door and they're like, what the fuck? Like this one thing this movie does really well that I think serves it well is like there's a high joke density. There are so many little facial expressions and reactions and little one-liners that you could easily miss because you're laughing at something else. Like the jokes are very rapid fire when they're hitting.
Yeah. See, I would say from my point of view, where the jokes kind of fell flat just because I wasn't getting it. As we got towards the middle of what we could normally consider the second act, it's pretty much about the morning that they wake up and start finding that the whiskey bottle's empty and stuff like that, and things start to escalate and get better. And the movie works for me better in that last half because they have a better balance of trying to do the dialogue with these two that I didn't really connect with or have anything to do, and got more to a traditional structure. So for me, and the opposite end of that, you get away from some of those jokes that I was missing anyways, and you get a little bit more action, and it brought me back into it some.
Yeah, I mean it does. They definitely ramps up action wise. I loved the when they were timing themselves to see how fast they could back up the.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That and then the whole bit with the gun was actually really good because it's skewering
It's so
the sort of
funny.
like it's
Yeah.
skewering kind of like lefty progressiveness.
Yeah.
Totally.
But they like hug and they're just like, we're gun people now.
I did get a good
Well,
laugh.
but
out of
I guess we're
gun
good.
It's
people
kind
now.
of what like it's a funny thread that they follow a lot where every time confronted with some kind of crisis that goes against the beliefs, he folds immediately. Like
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
It's really funny.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the hardest part watching this. Like, at a certain point, and I don't think this is like a huge spoiler, but they come across a baby, like an infant, and like he pushes
his-
very hard that like
his
maybe we
line-
didn't hear it crying.
No, he
I'm
goes,
like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
what the fuck does he say, dude? He goes, I think our best course of action here is just pure. Oh, what the hell does he say?
It's
so
like
funny.
selfishness. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. He's
like,
like, just so we're on the same page, right? He's like, our best course of action is pure selfishness, and she was like, no, like he says. it.
yeah,
We drove by
Oh
and
my
maybe
god,
we just
it
didn't
was so
hear it.
funny. The I also love too when he's like, oh, I know how to shoot the. Or he's like, we should practice shooting the gun, and he shoots it out the window and breaks the window, and then he's trying to act all cool. He hits himself in the head. And shit.
Not even that. Like,
She's
what,
like-
he,
and
like
she's
ties
being
his
really-
shirt around his head because he thinks it's gonna
Yeah,
like
yeah.
muffle
But like,
the sound.
she's being really sweet too. Like, and that's kind of what I like is you do actually get the layers of this relationship where they're sweet and supportive of each other. Like in that scene, she is totally playing in to him trying to act cool about shooting the gun. Like she's
Yeah.
not making fun of him. She's being sweet about it, which there's this dynamic between the two of them like that I really like.
Well, that's so because Joe sort of hit on this, right? Like, and I think Eric, you might have mentioned too. Like, she's more likable, but the relationship is likable. Like, you kind of like believe them as a couple,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Yeah.
and it just like even if you don't like one or both, like I like them together. Like, I mean, a lot of it's the
Mhm.
humor, but there is like an earnestness to it where you're like, all right, you can actually see how these people are it felt believable. Like it felt like a real
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
They did a good job of highlighting and giving them separate insecurities to flesh them out that way a bit, because she had her hangups with children and her parents, stuff like that. His was about if he's a real man or not, things like that. I thought they fleshed that out pretty well for the characters.
I love when when he does his whole like confession to her, and he's like, "All right, tell me
All right,
like
now you
tell me a
go.
lie." Yeah, and she's like, "I don't know, I can't think of anything." And he's like,
Oh
"Just
my
tell me like the last thing you
It
lied
was
to me
so
about." And she's
good.
like, just turned on her phone.
Yeah, yeah, literally, yeah. Fine
No,
with
the
her.
way
I
she
do.
the way
Yeah.
she blurts out, "I eat my contacts" is so goddamn funny. Like
Oh my god.
her line delivery there was perfect.
First of all, that's insane, and second of all, I'm kind of interested to try that.
It was so funny. I just
That
kept
and
doing it.
the scene when like after shit kind of pops off, like where she admits that she went on her phone and like it kind of unravels that like they probably could have gotten out of there if she had just like admitted it like right away.
Oh,
and stuff
he's
like
real
that, I
shitty
loved.
about he's real shitty about blaming her. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I did get a good laugh too, though, in that whole breakdown scene when she's telling him that she was checking her messages the day before, and his first response was, "Well, if you would have told me yesterday, I could have had my messages too."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I did. Did anybody recognize the voice of his mother on the
No.
voicemail?
Who is
Well,
it?
Amy
it was,
Sedaris.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was Amy Sedaris.
Oh, I
She
saw
was
her in the credits. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
That's the other thing that was really funny to me is like the opening credits has like 10 names in it.
Yeah.
There's 3 characters. in
There's
this
3
movie.
people. Yeah, like 3 or 4.
Well, there's a lot
Count
of
it,
phone.
maybe.
There's a lot of
Oh, well,
messages
baby.
on that phone and stuff too.
Yeah. I love her. I was bummed that like she didn't turn up somewhere in the actual movie. Like
The first time I watched this was like on Friday night, and I, saw her name, got excited, went through, and then after a while, I was thinking, I'm like, I don't remember seeing her. So today, I sit down to rewatch it for the show, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch for her. Then by the end, it's like, wait a minute.
yeah,
Still
yeah, I was bummed. It was funny because we watched this last night, and like at one point we paused to go make popcorn, and I think I mentioned something to Leslie like I need to figure out what beer I want to use for this. She's like, I completely forgot that you're watching this for the show because it's enjoyable.
Jeez. Leslie Savage.
That's,
Do we want to talk about the ending? Like
Yeah, sure.
yeah, let's do it.
I mean,
So it ends.
spoiler, right?
Well, they accidentally end up in what they refer to as a trap, which I thought was really fun. A trap, which
trap.
like, so it's like a weird little glass dome thing, but they get caught by the trap because it gives them cell service, I guess. Like, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm to understand that crystal was giving them cell service was supposed to like attract them to it or something?
Well, so they just walk up to it, right? There's basically like it looks like a piece of glass, like it looks like a ice sculpture almost.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, and she walks up to it and she starts like feeling it, but she can't touch it. So then it's like kind of like, oh, this is weird. And while they're like touching it, they realize their cell phones are turning back on. So yeah, that didn't even register with me that maybe that was like part of the trap, but that makes sense. But yeah, once they do that,
Well, it seemed
while they're
really
kind of-
stark to me that all of a sudden they're getting cell phone service when they're standing around
Yeah,
this thing.
no,
Yeah.
once now that you say it, I agree. It
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
The
And then it,
internet
like, kind of goes around them.
So then it goes around them, and there's kind of a Willy Wonka-esque scene where it just goes
Yeah.
up, and you see them kind
glass
of going out of the
elevator, yeah.
atmosphere or whatever. The internet seems to think that this was them being carted off to some home planet to be either like eaten or be slaves or something like that. Like, but it's not. That's not made explicit, and they seem, because I kind of also thought while watching it, well, maybe they're being rescued by something else or something.
Yeah, but they didn't give us it. I could see where you might think that, but to me, I just assumed they were doomed and they were going to get collected and hauled off because
Yeah.
there was no sign of anything else that was there other than
Which
the
I
booze.
kind of like, just given the tone of the movie. I guess I'd prefer to
Yeah,
think of it that
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it does end with them sort of laughing, but it's definitely like a nervous laughter. Like,
Yeah.
they feel like, oh, maybe we're being saved, but like in their heads, they're like, this probably isn't going to work out well for
Yeah.
us.
I mean, I guess my reading and like maybe this, I mean, this is why when I was saying it's ambiguous, like whether or not they're going to be like slaves on some alien planet, like if they were staying on Earth, they were probably going to die. Like they was
Yeah.
basically like you're definitely going to die. on
Oh,
Earth,
what
or-
are we saying here, John? I don't think I like where you're going with this.
What do you mean? Well, I'm just saying like maybe like they get to live a little longer, whether or not it's
Okay,
like, good
John.
or not. I don't.
Does Joe
I'm
understand where I'm going? Like you're
No,
telling
I
me
actually
this.
am like unclear on what you're.
It seems like you're.
like-
I'm not even gonna go there, John.
They may have to go live in like a human zoo. I don't know, but like.
Yeah.
They also might just be dead on Earth. Like I guess if
I
you're
think I
saying
might- I
dead
think
on
I-
Earth is
I
better
think
than
I'd rather be
zoo,
dead.
like-
Yeah, I
No,
think I'd
no,
rather
that-
be
that-
dead.
That's why I say it's ambiguous. Like you're right, it could be like worse, but at the moment that it happens for them, they are like happy. But then I think there's this realization of like, oh yeah, there's like a dark side to this problem. The only thing I was thinking about is like, these fucking people are stuck in this box with a kid that's not theirs. Like, how are they going to feed this kid? Like, I was kind of like nervous
that's-
immediately. Like,
Or what if he shits his diaper again?
well, yeah, exactly.
Well, that
I
was
love
kinda
when he says,
interesting,
I love when
like-
he makes the comment about the diaper being a 2-person job. Made me laugh.
It's interesting that they like put this baby in the movie, right? Because like it immediately changes the tone. And like even Leslie and I are watching because there's one scene where they like pretty much trip out because one of the poof like farts on them or something.
Dude, so funny.
And like as a parent, the entire time they're having this scene and it's pretty funny, but like the first thing Leslie said, and I was thinking the exact same thing, was like, where the fuck's that baby? Like, what are they doing? Like, because like
Well,
you're
there's, I mean,
immediately-
that's a lot of the
yeah.
comedy comes from them having zero fucking idea of what to do with the baby.
Exactly. Yeah. But it also like it builds the tension. Like I think for the first time in most of the movie, like you have it a little bit when the poof first shows up, but like once you insert a baby that they have to take care of, like it's like a whole other level.
I
which
love
thought
when
was kinda
they,
interesting.
I love when they wake up from the trip and the baby has crawled away. It's just
Mhm.
that whole scene is really funny, and then he starts saying its name, like out
Yeah.
into the woods, like it's gonna just be like, "Oh, hey, I'm right here." Very funny. So yeah, I enjoyed this a lot.
I like
Good
stuff.
I guess that's gonna do it for the review. Would you recommend this, John Schnorrs?
Yeah, I would.
Casey?
I gotta stick with no.
Joe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think definitely it's a lot of fun. It's the rare apocalypse movie in 2020 that I could actually recommend because it's just kind of light and fun and enjoyable. So, all right, that's gonna do it for Save Yourselves. Question? It's not a question mark. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
Scream. For the movie Rolling Stone magazine calls a delicious blend of fun and fright that's smashingly scary.
It was funny. It was exciting.
It's a scream, baby.
The whole thing was fun.
Never say, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Sensational, terrific entertainment, says the LA Times.
Scream is sexy.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs and laughing hysterically all at the same time.
Scream.
This is great. You have to see it.
Rated R. Now playing.
Hi there, I'm Judith O'Day from George Romero's original Night of the Living Dead, and you're listening to Bloody Good Horror.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
And we're back. It's a baby. Cece's here, and she brought a baby.
I brought a baby.
Oh, look at that.
Face when that music was on was really funny.
How's it going? How you doing over there?
I mean, we're surviving.
Is that baby talking to you?
Do what?
Oh my
That's
god.
That's a cute baby.
I know.
Oh my
I
god.
Look at
Look
that
at
face.
those cheeks. Holy crap.
Yeah.
How's that baby sleeping?
I mean,
That big baby figure out what day and night is yet? That's always the
No.
fun part. Oh, cool. You're still in the shit
No,
then.
we're-
Got it.
we're doing bottles every 2 hours, so I don't know that we know what sleeping is right now either.
Is Kyle taking a shift?
Oh, of course, dude.
Oh,
Right.
Listen,
what a man.
here's my piece of advice.
21st century.
There he
John,
is.
did you, John, or did you just
Well,
feel like it's all on you?
Listen, at about
It
a
was
year,
mostly breastfeeding, so I
Yeah.
did not have the option.
CC,
for
at about a
while, but-
year, at about a year and a half, okay, you're gonna start sleeping better, and you're gonna feel so much better so quickly. You're gonna start being like, "This is easy. We should have another one of these." All I'm
Yeah.
saying is wait until like 3. Just like take that whole year from
That's
2 to
right.
3 before you
A
make
year
a
and a
decision.
half seems like a really long time from now, and then
A
yeah, you've
baby,
got
a
the
baby
careful
from
twos
like
and
a
threes.
year to a year and a half is a delight, and it's a trick. And just be careful, is what I'm saying.
A good trick. Are you gonna trick everyone?
No, that's not the trick part. Yeah, you're in the. I don't know.
No, not right now.
Oh,
You're just
yeah.
in the
She's
shit,
not even.
as I
She's
like
not
to call
even
it.
looking.
So Cece, we just had my brother-in-law had a 2-month-old at our house, so I had another baby around.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Have you ever heard of the thing, the snoo? This was like a new invention to me.
No, what is
this
that?
new?
It's like a super crib that has like all this like stuff. So when the baby's in the crib, if the baby starts crying, the crib will like rock it a little bit, or it'll like
Stop.
shake a little. It has like I don't know. I didn't even like
That-
want to.
that sounds like a
you know what?
dystopian
This
nightmare
is
to me.
Newfangled for me.
Yeah,
Say that just sounds like you're giving your baby to AI, and that's really unsettling.
yeah.
No.
And nothing for nothing,
Uh,
like what's gonna happen when like your baby isn't being rocked when they start crying? Like I feel
Well,
like
that-
you're just like
so-
conditioning it to.
We did discuss that with them. We were like, it feels like you might be setting yourself up for a rough like.
Yeah, because we
4
did
or
the same
5
with Mia, and like literally we had to rock her to sleep for like an hour up until like after the age of 1.
She's,
and
she's 7.
With Madeline, we were like, no, fuck you. You're just going in the crib.
Get
and
him in the
like,
crib,
She
yeah.
sleeps like a dream now.
And honestly, like even crib over one of those, whatever those other things are, because that'll just make
Bassinet,
it harder to
yeah.
get them out of that too. So just get their ass in the crib like a weekend. You're
Are
good.
you-
I mean, we're in a bassinet right now, so.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you're
when
already-
you're like feeding every 2 hours, you kind of.
Yeah. And she definitely already likes, like, she prefers you to hold her, but like she wants to be on your chest when she falls asleep. And I'm just like, oh Lord, we've already started down the wrong path.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
We
you
had.
doing? Do you pacifier? Are you trying to pacifier?
Do what?
Or like pacifier, like the.
Oh yeah.
So- Well, no, because like some people won't do it. Like my
Oh.
sister refused to use them, and I always tell people it's like definitely if they'll take
Yeah.
it, I would say definitely do it. But we just took one away from our 2.5-year-old,
Yeah.
and you know it gives you a couple rough nights, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
For,
Oh,
like,
do
2
it.
solid
Do
years of
it.
saving.
Yeah.
She
no,
actually
do it.
doesn't like use it that often. I mean, I realize we're only 3 weeks in. How many weeks are we? I don't know. What is time?
I'm just laughing because I feel like I'm listening to a Goop podcast.
Goop podcast.
Welcome to Baby
You're gonna want to
Cast.
get yourself some healing crystals, okay?
Baby good horror.
Baby good horror. That's,
See,
Uh,
it translates so well.
that needs to be a
But yeah, I
t-shirt.
mean, we like. She doesn't take it all the time, but I'm like, if she wants to use it, then fine. I'm not really against it. So
Here's a real important
never-
question: how much is Kyle helping?
I mean, more than you would like imagine anyone helping. Dude, he would have had a baby like when we were 20. So this is like his come through.
Love it.
Hey, yeah, like
Good work, Kyle.
yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Don't be a schnars. Don't abandon your wife.
come on.
I could like John was definitely the guy who like went out to the bar with his buddies with like cigars after like the 1920s. Like,
Probably the same piano
wish.
bar.
there, it's a boy, eh?
Dude, my dad went back to work the next day. He was telling me, I was like, what kind of fucking life is that?
Back to the mines.
No, Kyle has 6 weeks. Well, actually, he has 12 weeks, but he only took 6 right now. So we're both on, leave from work. So that's really nice. We don't know what time it is, what day it is.
Yeah,
Um,
that never
Yeah.
really changes. That
It's
never
the
gets
right way
better.
to do it. I
Yeah.
did like a month right up front. I had, I guess, like 8 weeks or something, and like I did 4 weeks right up front, and then when my wife went back to work, I did a month by myself,
Ooh.
and
but that's awesome that you had that, though.
Yeah.
you had to use it in the first year.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was kind of whenever. Yeah, that's a real experience, 101.
Have you guys started watching late night QVC yet?
No.
Yeah, I
No.
tell you,
We're
give it
watching-
a go. It'll change your life.
Ink Master.
I've made him watch Ink Master, which is
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah, Nightmare fuel.
Wait, what is Ink Master? Is
I
that like a
assume it's a
tattoo
tattoo
show?
It's a
show.
tattoo competition
it's
show,
Dave
but they just
Navarro.
but it's weird from what I remember watching because they just I mean, they're kind of practicing on people and they're under like time
Yes.
restraints. And then it's like, then at the end, the judges sit there and while this person's sitting there and tell this artist how much they screwed it up. It's like,
Critique
cool,
how bad it is.
dude.
Wow.
But also, like, I don't feel bad for these people who come on the show to get tattooed because the tattoo artist is literally being like, okay, I can't do that. Let me do something that I can give you a good tattoo with. And they're like, no, if you're going to win, you should do it. And I'm like, they're telling you it's going to be a bad tattoo.
Yeah.
Why would you want that? So
Is it their friends? Like, do they know the people?
No.
Yeah. It's people that volunteer to go in.
Point
No,
is, like,
Forget it.
they pick, like, the tattoo artists pick the canvas to, like, screw over other artists. So it's like, you're getting a shitty tattoo artist who can't do it. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
bizarre. So we're watching that and a lot of Gordon Ramsay kitchen nightmares and
Yeah.
24 hours to hell and back.
I'm a big
So,
fan.
you
If I
guys
need to
have said-
burn
you
like,
guys-
if I need to burn like 12 hours, I'm a big fan of Bar Rescue.
Oh,
Highly
yeah.
recommend that.
Yeah.
Can't
If
go.
you ever look up though, none of those bars ever last like a year after that guy shows up.
Nightmares has a very good track record of it.
Yeah.
So how do you guys outdo Christmas next year?
What do you mean?
Twins.
Well, that's a pretty big Christmas present there. So how do you outdo
Oh,
that?
whoa. There will not be twins next. Yes, I told everyone. I was like, you don't get a gift because this is your gift. So I don't know. I guess I'm done giving great gifts from now on. Just
I
like-
gave life. What did you give? What did you bring to the party?
Have you like seen any family? I mean, it's like a pretty tough time, obviously.
Yeah.
So
A little bit. We've seen Kyle's family because they're kind of like in our bubble because we have to be really careful with his brother. But outside of that, no. We've seen some people from like our porch and they're in the driveway. So we've seen like, a wave here or there, but yeah, it's weird. It's very strange. No one tells you how to have a baby in a pandemic. So
No. I mean,
well, that's
yeah.
weird. When we had my brother-in-law come up, we quarantined for 7 days.
Yeah.
All got COVID tests. They got COVID tests.
Yeah.
Then they drove like straight through to come, stay with us. It was like, all right.
yeah.
It was a lot.
It's
Did you vote today?
We early voted with absentee ballots, so we made sure we were handled.
Nice.
Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing like the sound
And
of.
so, no, it's a nightmare. Like anytime you turn on the TV here, there's like 7,000 ads.
I
and
bet.
I'm
I
like,
can't imagine.
Yeah, it can't be great.
Nothing
Well,
like
it's
the sound
all-
of
it's like
Schnarr's
all of the
cooing.
focus of the country.
yeah, exactly.
Cece, would you like to hang out for fan mail here
Yeah, for sure.
until things go south?
Yeah, until you
Alright.
start screaming.
Love it. Well, I'm glad
That
to have you
baby
back on the
makes
show.
Any noise?
Info at bloodygoodhorror.com. First up, we have a note from Alyssa on. Do you remember the CC, the book club?
Yes, I do remember. Do I remember what reading was? No.
No. She says,
Knocking out a bunch.
"Hey guys, happy 600. Here's a book club update. The winter reading challenge kind of fizzled out, which is all on me. Teaching is kind of a time suck, and I dropped the ball. We'll try again in the spring." Alyssa, don't be so hard on yourself. I drop balls all the time.
I know.
In January, we'll be reading The Devil All the Time by Donald Ray Pollock. Good old DRP. I want to check out the movie afterwards. The cast is amazing. Once again, happy 600. I love you guys. I'm so happy to be part of the BGH family. That's from Alyssa. Next up, Caitlin and Kissimmee. If you ever need a classic episode, you have to revisit Red State and Joe's absolutely insane It's Always Sunny-esque rant about Kevin Smith. People need to hear it. Caitlin and Kissimmee. I don't know how long ago we...
Yeah, it's been a while for
Forever.
sure. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I stand by it.
I'm sure you do. Info at bloodygoodhorror.com. Joe, what's on Twitter?
We are on Twitter at BG Horror. We use the hashtag AskBGH every week if you want to send in a question about the movie or just life in general. First up, speaking of back episodes, our buddy Snapcast Merge. Snapcast Merge? Snapcast Merge.
It's Snapcaster Mage.
Agree to disagree.
Joe, is like scrolling through social media just a nightmare for you because you can't read anyone's handle properly? Like,
well,
how do you ever
I
get to the
think I do.
tweets?
Anywho, so surreal for the last BGH episode I listened to was Insidious 3, and remembering vividly how much Eric hated it. And then I tune in now on a whim, and the number 2 movie of the year is Lee Whannell's Invisible Man. Biggest 180 for a horror director? Question mark. Can you think of a bigger one?
I think biggest 180 for a BGH fan that you were gone that long and came back. I love it.
Yeah.
Quarantine, man, it's broken everyone, even the people who decided they didn't like us anymore.
I mean,
Welcome back.
Like the opposite direction. What was Rob Zombie's second movie? Like I loved House of a Thousand Corpses, but like
Devil's Rejects.
Devil's
Yeah.
Rejects, and then it was like, did he do?
That was the Salem one after Rejects, wasn't it? Lords of Salem.
Lords
well,
of
no,
Salem.
when did the
maybe
Halloween
after?
movie?
No, he did the
Oh,
Halloween.
then
yeah, that's
Halloween
right.
movies, then Lords of Salem. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, on Lee Whannell though, he made that movie Upgrade in between. At least there might have even been another movie, and that movie was pretty decent. Like
Wait,
it was,
Don't
we
say
liked it.
don't
What
say
now, Joe?
Dees,
What was it?
John. Jesus
It was
Christ.
decent.
Dees.
Are you
Did,
trying to make that a thing?
He said it.
It's a
he's-
thing to me, Joe.
He said it
That's all I'll
before,
say.
Joe. Let's just try
Some
to.
Do I know-
subordinate said that to John after his review today. He's just going with it.
I know you watch Great British Baking Show, John, but Leslie and I have a theory that one episode Mary Berry said scrummy, which I don't think is like an actual word that anyone uses. And I think she was embarrassed, so then she tries to use it in other episodes too. Like she keeps trying to like insert it.
He keeps trying to make Scrummy happen.
Yeah, and like wants Paul to like catch on, and then
See,
she was gone.
that stuff it would have gone right over my head because I just assumed that's like a thing that British people say that
Mm-mm.
you know.
No, because nobody else says it. I think Mary Berry was trying to make it happen.
Interesting.
Next up, speaking of John's family, COW Flanagan. Nerd question for King Casey. Fuck
no.
me. How come, CUM, folks are upset that Wonder Woman holds a torch for Chris Pine, but everyone is fine with Captain America being a virgin because his girlfriend done got old?
No. I honestly don't know, bud.
Yeah, Casey, go for it. Answer that question.
Well, I guess
Wait,
one's DC
what?
and one's Marvel, right? Like that's just different universes.
Different universes.
Different
totally.
universe.
But, like, wait, hold on. Is he saying like when he's saying that people are upset about it, that he means like people in the movie in the universe of the film?
Well, no, I
or-
think there's like backlash that like pretty much Wonder Woman sacrifices like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
because she like has a thing for Chris Pine.
I mean, Chris Pine.
I mean, it is Chris.
Solid.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's dreamy.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I
didn't
honestly don't know.
thing that there's like a thing that I didn't know was a thing until you just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Chris Pine's character in Wonder Woman ever claimed to be a Boy Scout like Captain America did. So let's go with that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, here's one we probably should have thought about before. From Lovecraft Tapes. If the cast of BGH were beers, what style/flavor would each be, and what kind of glass would you pour them into?
Dude, I
Come
don't.
on. That requires knowing different
Bro,
glass types.
it's 9
I just want to
p.m.
be a sour beer.
It's
Yeah,
9
well, I was
p.m.
gonna
on
say, yeah.
STC.
That
Most
was
of
our
us.
beer today was a sour
Yeah.
beer. See,
See?
did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Worked out.
There you go.
I think I'd obviously be a chocolate stout, right?
Yeah.
I'll go American IPA. Kinda
I
like a
think
more
you'd be like
bitter.
a Zima, John, or like a.
Zima.
Spiked seltzer.
White Claw.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
I
That's
once
cool.
saw in
I'm
high
fine
school.
with it.
Once saw a kid chug a Zima and immediately throw it up.
Yeah.
So that
Eric
was
would be
cool.
like the Molson Golden that my dad's had in his basement for like 20 years that he still drinks like one every Thanksgiving.
Oh man, yeah, okay. My parents have like 10-year-old beer in their fridge because when people come
Yeah.
for the holidays, they just leave it and they never throw it out.
Yeah. No, my dad would like buy a
Can I
case
see
and
the space in their fridge. That's what I never understood.
It's
I
just
know,
like
I'm
random
like-
stray beer. It's not like a whole 12-pack. It's like here's a Bud Ice from 2009, like that's still there. It's like shit like that.
See, but like I clean my fridge. If there's something that's been in my
Well,
fridge
it's
for more
a-
than month,
it's
I'm
a-
like, no.
There's their old fridge. They got a new one. Their old fridge is in the garage. So you just put whatever with that one. Who gives a shit?
yeah.
secondary. All right,
Yes.
that's
Beer
different.
fridge.
Yes, it's a beer.
Um,
It's pretty much a beer fridge.
All right, here's one we probably should have thought of too. Horror fan 4129. That's our buddy Andy. They are making a Netflix series about BGH. Which actor plays each member of the team?
Hmm.
Nick Frost is playing me.
Nick
after
Frost.
Yeah, that makes
Time
sense.
waster, so whatever time with that new one he had.
I like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I got to be Elijah Wood, right?
Yeah. Can we get the puddle of mud singer to like come out of her
No,
character?
I think you the Stranger
Less
Things
scary.
guy would
At
be
this
fine
point,
with
you'd
you.
be Stranger Things kid because he's hot in Hollywood.
Aren't I like I gotta be 10 years older than him at least?
Well,
right?
we'll age him up. Well,
Yeah.
maybe this is the origin story of
Alright.
BGH. Maybe this is
That's
maybe this
fair.
is 2007 BGH, and you're like fresh. It'll be like well, this would be if they were gonna. I was gonna say if they were gonna age you down, we could whatever Martin Scorsese used in that last movie he did with Robert De Niro. Let's make-
Actually, I want Robert De Niro to play me.
age down
Yeah.
Robert De
Age
Niro.
down.
I like that.
I don't think so, John.
about you,
I
CC?
think Conan O'Brien would be me. Like I think that's who we pull in.
Yeah.
CC, anyone on your?
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza can be me.
Okay, I like it. What about
I
Kyle?
could see it.
I think we need a Kyle.
What about who?
Kyle.
Who's playing
Oh.
Kyle? Like,
I like that
exactly.
Kyle's
Chris
in
Pratt.
a movie.
Oh, you know, I don't know.
What's
Joe,
his name?
Joe,
The,
if Kyle isn't in the movie, who's gonna be your love interest?
It's true.
I can't have the ghost of Chris Pine
Yeah.
think someone else's body.
That's solid. No, that's good.
All right, here's Skizbot. I remember my first beer. Do you remember your first beer?
I sure
Yes.
do. It was a Pabst Blue Ribbon,
So,
and I drank 3, and I threw up a few hours later. I was
had
real
two
drunk.
Mad Dogs taped
Ooh.
to my hands.
I think my first one was a Hams.
Wait, Mad Dog or Red Dogs?
Mad Dogs.
Like the 2020s? Like the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
dear
bro.
Yeah.
I think mine was a Rolling Rock.
Yeah, that from that era, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least for Twitter, and then we'll jump over to the Insta whatevers. Robale, when will we be back to normal? Can Joe keep track of everyone's answers on Eric's top 10 spreadsheet so we can go back and laugh later?
You know what we could do? We could venture a guess as to like the next time we'll be in a theater.
Oh.
Word.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, hang on. Let me jump over and I'll pull up and we can just guess a month and we'll see if any of us
Yeah. I have
end
a
up being
Wow,
right.
just a month? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I say
Hold on, and is the question the next time I'll go to the theater? Or
BGH.
that...
The next time BGH goes to a theater for a movie, because if
Yeah, but see, this
theaters
is
are
tough
open and
because-
it's safe, we'll all be going at the same time.
Yeah, but my point is like my willingness to go is probably higher than like Eric's, and so
If I have a vaccine, I don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah,
if,
I
if,
mean,
I,
it's well
if myself
established
and
you
the
don't
people in
love
my
your
life
family,
that I'm
John.
going to
We
be
get it.
if myself and the people in my life that are going to be exposed have a vaccine, then yeah, that's my threshold. What's yours, John?
mine is like I don't know, get me out of this house. I might pay $100 to rent out the theater by myself.
Well, we were gonna do that around Christmas. We actually rented it.
So
and
I
then
think
they
the
ended up
answer
canceling.
is when can we all agree on going back to the theater together?
Yeah.
All right.
And
that's a
no
much
no holding it up just so you can win.
All right. So
Uh,
who wants to go?
I'm gonna
CC,
say
your
go ahead, Cece.
specialty.
You get the
I
first.
say like September.
Oh damn it, that was
Ooh.
my pick.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go.
Well,
I'll
well,
go.
we could do dates like
Yeah,
closest.
I think you got to pick a day. I think you got to pick a day.
Okay,
Wednesday.
and you got to be. You can't go past it. It's like Price is Right. You got to be
We'll say September 8th.
closest without going over. How's that? I'm gonna say August 30th. I thread the needle.
I was gonna go with August 2, so I will go the opposite end of Eric and say August 1st.
All right.
Now
John?
we could all be overshooting it. Like it could be
I was
fucking
considering-
June.
Oh yeah.
I was considering late July. You know what? I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm going July 10th.
Ooh.
Ooh, cocky.
I'm gonna go later. I'm gonna say like October 15th,
Whoever wins,
Grim, Joe.
whoever wins,
2022.
whoever wins, John does the one chip challenge. It doesn't matter, even if he wins.
All right. What do I do?
If
with my-
I win, I get to pick someone to do it. Anyone else wins, I have to do it.
No, even if you win, you have to do
Yeah,
it.
even if you win, you got to do it.
Hey, we should do a prize.
All right, let's bang through Instagram. First one over there. We're on Instagram, Bloody Good Horror. Every Tuesday we post up. If you just want to send in a dumb question, we'll give you a dumb answer. Okay, Joe, do you love this couple in this movie or hate them? Because I can't imagine you have neutral feelings about these two or anything or anyone ever. I mean, I think it's directed at me, but like we can, do it for everyone. I think we were going to talk about it, but like knowing people exactly like this, especially that I worked with, like even when I first moved to New York City, like I've already gone through my stages of being annoyed by them and just kind of accepted them. And like I have like a couple friends that are pretty much exactly like this main character, so I'm fine with them.
You know
I
what
don't
it is
about
for me?
love,
Like
but-
they're a little annoying in the beginning, but it's more like their relationship gives me anxiety, and I think that's my biggest problem with it in the beginning. So at least once we get out of that a little bit, I'm like, okay, I'm cool now.
Yeah, I would have hung out with these people.
I
Like,
cannot in a movie. I cannot in a movie watch a couple sitting on a couch together, both staring at their phones. Like it makes me want to jump off of the roof of my building. I can't handle it.
Should we have told CC up front that we like this movie? Except Casey.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. What is the name of the movie?
Save yourselves.
It's pretty good. It's like a sci-fi comedy about a bunch of hipsters who get stuck in an alien apocalypse and don't have any skills.
Well, it's not a bunch. It's two. It's a
Two. It's a couple. Like a
And
legit
it-
couple.
it's
Show
up for
search party
interpretation what a
season.
bunch means. Okay.
Oh no, but Kyle did.
That's pretty much the tone of the movie.
Yeah, it's like the exact same tone. It has a lot of the same people.
Oh, okay.
All right, here's the others. Since you're in Chicago, what's your favorite Brat Pack movie?
I mean, that's
Oh,
for
man,
you.
that's great.
You're
You
in
know
I
what?
mean, but I think everyone can answer.
This might be a
right?
dark horse. I'm really fond of St. Elmo's Fire.
I was literally about to say we just rewatched that.
It's
and
really good.
I would put it up there.
It's
That,
really-
or I
it's-
don't know if Less Than Zero is considered a
Dude,
Brat Pack movie.
that's
but
my
like
second-
That movie's
That's my set. Yeah, Andrew McCarthy's in it, and I would count Robert Downey
James-
Jr. as a tangential member of the Brat Pack, so I think that counts.
I feel
Spader
like I
too,
need
right?
to
James
look up the list of what qualifies because you guys are naming movies that I would not have put in that list. But,
Yeah.
you know,
'Cause
St.
I'd
Elmo's
go with,
Fire,
like-
I get, but you know,
I'd go with like Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's like that's
The
like
quintessential.
Yeah.
all right, dark chocolate or milk? Which is the stronger chocolate? I mean, dark, right? Like,
Milk chocolate.
I would go milk.
Really?
If like gun to my head, I can only have one more for the rest of my life situation. Milk, yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Milk or
Alright.
what?
Yeah. Kyle, what's your answer?
I mean, he likes dark chocolate, but I don't know.
Don't let him have it.
He left.
Oh, I'm
you know.
taking
You
I'm
know,
taking dark
part
chocolate.
is-
I'm taking dark chocolate.
Yeah. We're adults here, right? Like, what?
Yo, milk chocolate is delicious. All right,
Yeah.
just leave it alone.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's like you're white trash, I guess.
White trash because I like milk chocolate.
Just in general, like I don't know. It's like it's shitty. Like it's just shit.
Depends on where it's from, though, too.
On here he is. Do you like milk chocolate or dark chocolate better?
Are we talking about snacks or women?
Oh,
Oh boy.
Snacks or what?
He
Start
likes-
with snacks, but
be
then I
honest.
want to hear.
To be fair, he likes both a whole lot.
All right.
Okay, Joe, y'all are soulmates because he likes.
All right, and with women too, right? Because
Yeah.
then, yeah. All right, we agree on everything then.
Always.
Blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Oh my
Do you think the Bills will win the Super Bowl? Am I the only one who
Dude.
didn't even know football was happening?
No, I did. I don't
Yeah,
really
it's a
have any way to
mess.
watch it right now. I was a Bills fan all growing up in the 90s and then gave up eventually. And now like I can't even enjoy this. I just it's doing nothing for me. They might, I don't know.
They have a legitimate chance.
Yeah, they do.
It's not crazy. Well, did you see where the Browns like their coach has COVID now and they're supposed to play a playoff game this weekend?
Oh.
The whole thing's ridiculous. I don't know.
I have to say that yes, the Bills will win because like solely on the credit of the new "Every Time I Die" songs.
Oh my God, they're so good. Like, it is like I like their stuff, but like this is some of the best I think they've put out in years. Very excited about it. Here's two that kind of go together. Sometimes these seem down. Are you okay? And then somebody else asks, "What can we do to help?"
Oh, you're desperate pleas for people to write into the show.
No. This is on Instagram. It's
Oh,
literally
oh,
just
oh.
like ask us a question.
Oh, your answers.
I think yeah, people.
Got
I
it.
mean, I'm sure we're all down, right? Like nobody's having a great
Yeah,
time.
who's like in a good mood right now?
I like, all kidding aside, I've cried so much this year, like out of nowhere.
I'm with you. I'm with you actually, Joe.
On the 24th, Mia opened up the last day of the Advent calendar, and I fucking bawled. Like I don't even know why. It's not a great year.
See, I fell in. I went the opposite direction, and this year turned me into an apathetic hermit.
Oh no, I'm full on like menopause. If that's a real thing. Like,
Just all
all right, zombies, meh. Vampires, been there. What's the 2021 hot horror trend gonna be?
Oh, that's a good one. I was been hoping for a while that we'd get cults to take off. There's been a couple movies every year that hint towards it, but they haven't really
like
caught
those.
on. Those would be good though.
yeah.
Well, there's going to be at least a couple years before we start seeing sort of like the pandemic process through horror films.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like pandemic films. Like I just mean like, folks working through the shit that they experienced. I just think we're not going to see a trend because nothing new is getting made. Like it's going to be all the it's going to feel disjointed because like Candyman, which we were all ready for, last spring, is coming out now.
Well, I mean, but like, there's is shit shooting right now? It's so unclear to me. Like, other than Tom Cruise, like, are people making movies?
It's like the
Some are, some aren't.
The big expensive stuff is, but my sense is that like a lot of the mid-tier stuff, it's just like not worth the extra hassle of like.
Because you got to
production
pay
cost.
to quarantine people and testing and like it'd be
Yeah.
a whole fucking thing, yeah. And you could get shut down with one case.
Yep.
Red Dog, Zima, or Bud Dry. You can only drink one for the rest of your life. Which is it?
Red Dog, Zima, but what is Bud Dry?
Bud
that
Dry? I don't think they make that anymore.
Yeah.
Is that like a Bud Ice kind of thing, which is like more alcohol?
Yeah.
I'd probably
Yes.
go with that, I guess, if I can only pick one.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Red Dog.
I can drink a
Yeah,
Budweiser.
That's all right.
I could live with Red Dog.
Because I mean, the other two. I mean, Zima, I think will probably get you pretty drunk pretty quickly.
Too much sugar.
It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
And
though.
it'll give you the
Yeah,
beats.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
Did
I remember in
I
college,
heard-
O'Colleen used to at our frat parties would stuff Jolly Ranchers in her Zima to make flavors. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I heard they're bringing Red Dog back, like as a nostalgia play.
I thought so. Yeah. I
Wouldn't
thought
surprise
Zimas
me.
were back too.
Yeah, they
here's a
were
good
back
one.
last year.
Here's a good one. Not really a question, but I'm looking for 11,000 votes for anything for Jackson. A recount for the year ender.
Casey's stuffing the ballots right now.
Obviously, alluding to John's bullshit tampering of the election. Here's a quick one. Things will get better, right?
Yeah. What did you say? 2022.
October
Do we have to vote on
2022.
that too?
Look for it. Here's one that everyone will enjoy. What do you think Jax made his #1 resolution for 2021? Jax, obviously, from Vanderpump Rules, John.
Oh, obviously.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
hmm
No, totally.
I already answered on the thing. We don't need to get into it. Are you earning enough in Cameo to quit your job yet?
Oh.
No, but like I'm legit up to like 45 of these things.
This
in
is
the
a
past,
great-
like 3 months.
What? That's amazing.
This is a great segue, Joe. Actually, I brought one up. Oh, no. I lost it. Wait, I got to click on the link again. Son of a bitch. Why don't you tell us about your recent Cameo output, Joe, while I try to find this again?
Well, it's there was a pretty big rush around the holidays. I think a few people did get a video from Joe as a holiday gift, which is,
That's special. When
Yeah.
you want to tell someone, yeah, I like you $5 worth. Yeah.
So this one, Joe. Oh, can you? So before I play this one was a birthday message for our buddy Dave. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't told the people that your admirer asked for one, right?
Oh yeah, I did one.
How did that
I wanna
go?
say a couple days before Christmas. Oh, it went great. She actually posted a like a thank you or like response on Twitter. It was very nice.
I feel like Cece missed that whole.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel so.
Someone
behind.
said nice things about Joe, and
Yeah.
then he like commented about it on the show, and then they requested a cameo.
Yeah.
Love
was
it.
amazing. Yeah, no, she's my new favorite listener. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you go, Joe. Here's your message to our buddy Dave. We're not. It's 7 minutes. We're not going to listen to this whole thing, but.
It's Dave Flagibelli. Brashears. I don't know if I never actually understood what Fujibilly is. I don't know if you were a photographer back in the day. Your first name's Dave. By the way, I never remember that. I never remember that it's Dave. I know I should. I'm a terrible human being. I never remember it, and I just call you a Fuji Billy, even when I think we talk about it on the show. But I never understood where Billy came from and where Fuji came from. Like, Fuji, do they still make film? I assume they still make film. So maybe I'm just going to assume it's like a hillbilly photographer type thing. Like you're out in the woods
Fuji.
making moonshine with a Polaroid camera. Just you're mixing up your moonshine, and you're like, oh, there's a sparrow. That's beautiful. And you take your picture with your Fuji Classic, or whatever you call it. Anyway. Your wonderful friends, Mary and Caitlin, wanted me to just take a moment of my precious time of everything that I have going on and wish you a happy birthday. Apparently, January 2nd. Like, it's not a terrible birthday. Like, it's not Christmas Day birthday. It's not day after Christmas birthday. But January 2nd, probably not the best when you're growing up, right? Because, again, like, you're probably getting just presents set aside, like, oh, we were going to give him this for Christmas.
You know what? I've identified this cadence of yours, Joe. I've identified it. It's like in The Office when Michael wants to speak at Phyllis's wedding, and he's like, when time isn't a factor, I like to try 3 or 4 openings.
Yeah, it just rambles on. I mean, I like people to get their money's worth, like 7 or 8 minutes,
totally.
or 5 at least.
I just want to know, like, do you come up with your script beforehand, or you just
no,
wing it?
No, I have like a general idea.
Cece, you think that had an outline?
It's like a general idea of where things might go, but like a lot of them are just like, all right, let's just see where this takes us. I believe it was the great Tupac, who is kind of my inspiration, said, when I write, I go blind and let the Lord do his thing. And like, I just let it happen.
Is that the tag on your Cameo profile?
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. When I write rhymes, I close my eyes and let the Lord do his thing.
Nice.
That's my
I love it.
That's how I cameo. All right, we want to jump. Where are we here? Are pictures of John considered thirst traps? Maybe a BGH calendar would be fun.
My wife texted me a picture of this question.
Oh, really? I love it.
Yeah. I was not 100% clear what a thirst trap was. I had a general sense. But...
It's when you post a picture where you're looking real good because you want to soak up all the positive comment. You need a little you need a little validation.
Let's see.
Maybe I gotta get back on social. I don't know.
Yeah. What is your favorite brand of mask? Does anyone know what brand?
I like Old Navy masks. That's where I tend to buy mine.
We have a shitload of Old Navy masks. We bought them.
And they have really good ones. They have really good kids masks, and they're cheap.
Yeah. Well, exactly. You buy the kids ones. Like we bought like 40 of them.
Yeah, they're cheap.
My son chews holes in the mask because he has to wear them to school. So it's like he's in a mask like all day long. So.
What horror movie are you looking forward to in the new year?
Anything.
We're
gonna get this Green Knight. I was excited about that. I think I answered that same question.
I have a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could probably just go back to 2019.
What is looking forward to? I don't remember what that is. I'll be honest. I find it hard to get excited about movies that I was already excited about seeing last year that just got pushed. Like even Candyman or Green Knight. I'm kind of like, okay, like that. I need new things, John. I need new toys to play with.
I don't know. When I'm going to the theater in March to see some movies, I'm pretty pumped about anything. So.
Pinhead, Jason, Leprechaun all went to space. Who's next? Leatherface?
I mean, Leatherface could work because then he could use his chainsaw to propel himself through space.
Oh,
interesting.
Until he ran out of gas.
I think it'd be funny to see that little jigsaw guy in like his little bike, just like floating around.
Saw in
how's
space.
Dry January going, Joe? Day 4, we're all right. I think so.
Where did we land on smoking weed during Dry January?
So far, no, but we'll see. We'll see where things go.
So you're just like you're straight edge right now, Joe.
Well, we had planned on doing it, and then Saturday or Sunday night we had like our final send off, and like the next morning we felt like hot garbage, and we're like, all right, fine, no. All right, best cure for post-holiday gloom.
Also weed.
Yeah, that's actually was my
horror movies.
What would be the key thing to avoid this year? My response was people. You should probably just stay with people.
Yeah.
Bodily fluids.
Oh, yeah. And last but not least, Happy New Year to you, you lovely person. Gingerbread men dipped in coffee, yes or no?
Oh, I can do it.
Sure.
Sounds, yeah, I'm cool.
Joe said no.
Yeah, I said no. Like I like black coffee. I don't want anything
So
sweetening that,
yeah,
that
I
delicious bitterness.
I drink black coffee too, and it's not as quite as nice when you're not. I mean, that's more of like you got a bunch of cream and sugar in there. I feel like.
Yeah. We got like a
But
pumpkin spice
you're
latte.
just dunking the gingerbread cookie in there though, right? You're not like letting it soak.
I was gonna say, then
If you're not letting it soak, then what's the point? Like just dunking.
Yeah.
What does that
it's
do?
getting the cookie with coffee on it rather than
Yeah.
down.
It's like dunking an Oreo.
Nah, see, if I'm dunking an Oreo, I am holding that Oreo in there until the absolute last second where it's about to fall into the milk, and then I'm eating it.
Yeah, agreed. You know, one of my favorite things, and maybe Eric, you can get behind me on this: graham crackers dunked in milk. Like they soak, like you soak it up just to the point where they're about to fall apart, and it is delicious.
Interesting.
Just no, that's like a already chewed up graham cracker.
Yeah, kind of.
Gross.
I'm getting old. That's it. That's it for the Instagrams.
Cool. Instagram, Cameo, patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror. If you would like to see a live stream of the show every week. Cece, glad to have you back. I'm glad to know things are going well.
Yes, we're doing good. You know, we're just in our pod. Don't know what's going on outside of it, but we're good here.
Congratulations to you and Kyle.
Thanks.
That's cute, baby.
Yes, congrats.
All right, guys. What did we decide we're doing next week, John?
Was it Hunter?
Well, there were two things we were discussing on Shudder, but no, we haven't.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think
put it to a vote.
I think we're still going through some stuff we missed from last year, though, is the headline. So, and then.
As opposed to all the new things that have already come out
exactly.
this year?
Well, yeah, I think we have time. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's show. Hope you enjoyed. We'll talk to you next week.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.